So, as we can see here, the entirety of East Timor has been annexed, and honestly the island looks kind of weird now that it's not divided. I don't know why. But yeah. Now, before we get started with the next part, I just want to show you guys something that I am going to be including, which is going to be territorial waters. Now, these are going to be the territorial waters of Indonesia. It's going to be like really large since Indonesia is a fairly large country, spanning from the island of Sumatra all the way over to New Guinea. And actually, I forgot the name of this website, but I think it's called Map Projection. But if you compare Indonesia to the continuous United States, it's like the same size. So anyway, these are the territorial waters of Indonesia, and they are going to be choosing their next target, which just so happens to be Singapore. Now, Singapore is like a good country. They don't do anything bad. They just existed, but they're going to get invaded anyway, because Indonesia needs Singapore to form their empire. And yeah, they just managed to take it over. So let's take a look at the peace treaty. So as we can see here, Singapore has become completely annexed into the Indonesian empire, which, to be honest, doesn't look like it's grown too much. But yeah. Anyway, their next target is going to be Malaysia. So L for them. So Indonesian troops will be pouring in mainly from the Singaporean area that they just annexed over here, and just conquering as much as they can. Actually, they probably already conquered the capital, Kuala Lumpur. But anyway, the Indonesians also invade up here, taking over these areas and making Malaysia and ruining Malaysia's day. After a while, the Malaysians can't sustain their land in Borneo anymore, so it just like collapses, and now it's just an invasion over here. The Indonesians are doing their best to conquer Malaysia, and they actually managed to take over these coastal areas as well, and also over here. But then, while shocking everybody, Malaysia manages to cut through here and actually retake their capital. And yeah, it's a total shocker. It's actually going so poorly for the Indonesians that they lose this part of their sea access, and the Indonesians eventually manage to encircle these. The Malaysians manage to encircle these Indonesian troops, and they all either die or flee into Thailand. So that's a plot twist, but not for long. The Indonesians, with their really large army considering their high population, managed to retake the coast of Malaysia, block off their border with Thailand, and eventually dig deep into Malaysia before it finally surrenders. So let's take a look at this peace treaty. So, as we can see here, Indonesia has annexed all of Malaysia's northern border parts and this part of Malaysia, but surprisingly they left the rest as a puppet state, because they were like, if we let them live as a country, we'll be able to trick the international community to think that we're good people, even though we're not that much, because you know they are an empire. And yeah, the next thing that they decide to do is invade Brunei. Brunei also did not much wrong, but they were getting invaded anyway for the exact same reasons as Malaysia, Singapore, and East Timor did, because Indonesia wants to form their empire. But there's a catch. They're also going to invade the Philippines. And who's going to help them invade the Philippines? Well, I don't know. I think it's probably just gonna be them. Oh, and also they're ally of Australia, because these two are in cahoots or whatever. So anyway, Indonesian troops will begin to invade into Brunei. Like, quickly, Brunei's gone already. But it's going to be a tougher challenge when it comes to the Philippines. Now, since the Philippines is just like mostly islands, it's gonna be kinda hard to invade it, but the Indonesians will try their best to become colonialists and conquer as much land as possible. They do manage to land in this island, which I think is called Mindanao. Correct me if I'm wrong, maybe that's the capital. And they're nearing the capital, which should be here, I think, somewhere in this area. Yeah. And meanwhile, the Indonesians will conquer this area as well, and they actually managed to split the Philippines in half. Now, I know that recently the Philippine government collapsed, kind of. So, I'm just not going to really talk about that during this invasion. But anyway, the Indonesian troops connect up over here and manage to take these areas as well. They also dig deeper into the Philippines, almost taking out this island, but not quite, not yet. They eventually take these two islands, and now it's just like the north and southern part. Suddenly, the northern part declares independence, and the northern I want independence parts actually manages to fight back the Indonesians. Indonesians are not happy about this, so they're like, we'll give you independence if you'll be our puppet state. And they're like, no, because we were already under the US. So the Indonesians are now fighting a two-front war, in a sense, but also not really, because they're winning. They have also managed to take over the entire southern island, so now it's just the rebels left. The Indonesian troops managed to push up into the rebel area, But then a spearhead cuts all the way over here, don't ask me how, and just manages to take over this entire island. Indonesians destroy the spearhead, but those pesky rebels are still on these islands. They can't get rid of them. So anyway, the Indonesians take more and more until this area has fallen, but they still cannot get this island. They managed to get this one, but not this one. So they're like, fine, you can have your independence, can we just have peace? And they're like, yay, okay. So let's take a look at this peace treaty. First of all, Brunei is gone. Brunei, I believe their full name is Negara Brunei Darussalam. Don't ask me why I know. And the Indonesians got this part of the Philippines. The rebels got their independence, which the Indonesians aren't happy about, but they're gonna have to deal with it because they're losers. And the Indonesians just have one more target left in mind. That target is none other than Thailand. Now, oh, whoops again. Now, you would be correct in assuming that Thailand is allied with India, and they are. So, yeah. India is going to join this war, and so is the Pakistanish country that they're allies with, and so will Mauritius because it's Indian. If you want to know what the heck is going on, please watch What If India Made an Empire. It's a peak video, trust. But that's not the only thing that's going to be happening. On the side of Indonesia, we have, guess what? We have the Australians. Yeah, they're just going to be joining this war as Indonesia's ally, and also because they want Comoros. I don't know. I'm just gonna sink this island in the ocean. Actually, there we go. Anyway, the Australians want Comoros, so they're going to be fighting India for it. Now, is this a good idea? I don't know, you tell me. But the invasion is going to start with the Indonesians pushing into Thailand. Well, actually, they're going to conquer the Andaman and Nicobar Islands real quick. Let me just... There. They're going to start their push into Thailand. Just like getting as much as possible. And, yeah. But, oh no, the Indians are here. And they got pushed back. This goes on for a while, with pushing up, pushing back, and pushing up. Now, I know Bangkok is like right here. So, that is just like the Indonesians' ultimate goal. So they like tried to get there, and then they fell again. But, success. The Australians have conquered Comoros, and a new addition to their already massive empire. Now what else is massive? So the Indonesians, with a new, what's the word that I'm looking for? Well, the Indonesians managed to push here, and they try to spearhead for the capital. which they lose, and oh yeah, no, that's sad. That's like really, really sad. Wait, no, that's like even sadder. Wait, they're invading you. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, golly. No, that wasn't meant to happen. That wasn't meant to, oh. So, anyway, the Thai and the Indians and the Pakistanis, or Urdus, are winning the war, but not for long. Because more Indonesians are here. They are outsourcing the people from the Philippines to the front lines in Indonesia. Probably not the best idea, but they're doing it anyway. So they push harder into Thailand, and then they actually manage to capture the capital. Of course, this spearhead does get closed off by the Indian troops, but for the Thai, their government has collapsed, and the Indonesians managed to capture this area. Suddenly, they connect up with the rest of Indonesia, and they're actually beating the Indians. All hell breaks loose when they land in Sri Lanka, and India's like, stop, we'll give you what you want. I just don't want to lose any of my core land, except Mauritius, because, I mean, that's fair enough, you got it. I don't want to lose any of my core land, please just stop. I don't like war, wow, right? So, Indonesia is like, sure, peace. So let's take a look at the peace treaty. So, let's take a look at this peace treaty. First of all, we can see that Indonesia annexed a lot of Thailand and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, you know, the one with North Sentinel Island on it. And, Malaysia also got some land, but not much because they're just a puppet state. And as we can see here, Indonesia is massive, pun intended. Mauritius now belongs to Australia, and India is embarrassed. But that is going to be it for today's video. If anything else were to happen, maybe they invade this, I don't know. Maybe they manage to annex Kazakhstan, yeah, that makes sense. But that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe.